Hey, what up? It's your boy. So there's been a couple of tweets, or I guess a collection of tweets and retweets that have been going viral about this one person who has given an opinion on anime. And no, it's not me. It is in fact the world famous Hollywood actor Michael B. Jordan. It's pretty well known that Michael has been a fan of anime for a very long time, but with his new movie Creed 3, he said in an interview that a lot of the fights in the movie were based on a lot of anime that he watched, which is freaking awesome to hear. As an anime fan, hearing that a big-time Hollywood actor is like kind of repping anime in a good light for once is a W for the anime community. But then in this same interview, he decided to give a list of anime that he personally recommended that would be good for new fans to start out with. And this particular list that he gave, specifically a top 5 list, has gotten a lot of mixed reviews on the internet. So there were a lot of people tweeting out about this interview before I think like an official account did it. This is just the one that I saw. But basically, this is the short list of shows that Michael B. Jordan says are the top 5 anime new fans should start out with. Number 1 is One Piece. Number 2 is Dragon Ball. Number 3 is Naruto. Number 4 is Bleach. And number 5 is Hunter x Hunter. Now, I had a lot of opinions to say about this, but since I can only fit so much into a tweet, I basically just said, as much as I think this is a decent list for newcomers, I also feel bad for those newcomers who have to watch 2,000 plus episodes to merely scratch the surface, which I completely stand by. I mean, just doing quick math on all of the episodes of the 5 shows that he mentioned, it is literally 2,000 plus episodes. That's like close to 1,000 hours worth of anime that you need to watch in order to just finish 5 shows. But I figured I had a lot more to say, and a lot of people kind of asked me what my full opinion on it was, so I guess I'm gonna make this video to, I guess, clarify, to give my 2 cents again, give you my 4 cents, if you will. I don't necessarily think this is a horrible list. I mean, look, granted, everyone has all sorts of different opinions on the big 3 and Dragon Ball and Hunter x Hunter and all that kind of stuff. There's a couple of fundamental, I guess, issues that I personally had with Michael B. Jordan's list. Number 1, again, as I mentioned in the retweet, it's just way too goddamn long. It's like saying for people who have never watched a movie in their lifetime, that the first movies that they should go watch is all 9 of the Star Wars films and then 3 Lord of the Rings movies, plus the 2 Hobbit films to boot. Like, that's just too much commitment that is required in order to be able to consume the tiny sliver of the tip of the iceberg that medium has to offer. Because don't get me wrong, as much as I love shows like One Piece, love shows like Dragon Ball, even though I haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, I know that it's a fucking great show, okay? Togashi cannot do wrong. That's why he's the GOAT. But there are also some really big, I guess, discrepancies between recommending those kinds of shows to newcomers. For one, One Piece and Dragon Ball are really slow at the beginning. I mean, One Piece doesn't really take off, in my opinion, until the Alabasta arc, which is God knows how many episodes into the anime. And Dragon Ball, at least the anime for me, has not aged very well. I mean, if you look at any of the fights from like the Frieza arc even, like those fights seem to go by in a flash when we were a kid, but that's because we had the patience to watch it when we were children. Now, when you go and watch it in 2023, especially when you compare it to the much faster pacing that standardized anime has gotten to this point, Dragon Ball is a real freaking slog in some places. And again, same thing with Naruto as well. I think someone calculated back in the day that like close to like 1/3 of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, it can be classified as filler. I don't know if I want to recommend any kind of show to a newcomer of the audience to get them used to this amount of filler, because Naruto is certainly an exception. And look, don't get me wrong, all of these shows, again, are great in their own different ways, but I wouldn't necessarily give newcomers to the medium this much commitment in order to get into a show or get into a medium of anime for that matter. A lot of these shows are considered, you know, the normies, the stuff that is very easy for even someone who can't even pronounce the word anime correctly to get into. I feel another problem with recommending these 5 shows in particular is the fact that you're only really showing a tiny sliver of what anime has to offer to you. I saw this as a massive complaint in a lot of quote retweets and a lot of replies to this list, that a lot of people didn't like the fact that he was only recommending shonen anime, and not just shonen anime, but battle shonen anime, which again, I hate to clarify this but I have to, because the internet is stupid sometimes and take things out of context. I have no problem with battle shonens. In fact, I freaking love battle shonens. I don't think there is a single anime watcher who doesn't like a good old-fashioned hood classic battle shonen. But I feel when you're recommending anime to a newcomer, only showing them battle shonen puts a weird idea in a lot of newcomers' heads in thinking that all anime is just battle shonen, which, if you've spent even a little bit of time discovering the wide seas of anime, you know that that is very not true. Yes, some of the biggest shows that get put out into the world, the ones that become mainstream, quote unquote, are very much battle shonen or battle shonen-esque. But don't let that trick you into thinking that only battle shonens are the good stuff to come out of anime. Now look, I got a lot of people asking me, hey Joey, what would you say is your top 5 anime to get newcomers into? See, that's a difficult question, because I've had a lot of people who have come up to me saying, hey Joey, you know a lot about anime, you've watched your fucking past 30 years worth of anime. What is the best show to get into for someone who has never seen anime? And the first thing I do is not list off the big shows, not list off the mainstream shows, not list off the successful shows, but I ask them a question. I simply ask them, what are you into already? If you've seen anime before, then I just tell them, just give me like a couple of shows that you really enjoyed. And then from there, I can kind of cross-reference and go, okay, so this person likes this kind of genre, or this person likes this kind of genre. And then I give them a number of suggestions. For example, if there was a newcomer of anime who came up to me who has only seen One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach, for example, then I would say, okay, well, if you want another good battle shonen, in my opinion, shows like Yu Yu Hakusho are pretty dope. Or maybe you can go for something like Mob Psycho 100. But if you want something a little bit different, then I would try things that are similar to battle shonens, but doesn't involve necessarily the same cut and dry formula that a lot of battle shonens have. In fact, I would show them a lot of different types of shonen. Say, for example, do you want to try something psychological like Death Note, or do you want to try maybe a sports shonen like Slam Dunk? Or hell, if they want to try something completely different, then I would just throw something out random in the dark, then watch something like Angel's Egg. I do understand this concept of there are a lot of good gateway shows out there, and a lot of those gateway shows, in my opinion, don't necessarily have to be the most critically acclaimed shows either. For example, as much as I personally didn't really enjoy Sword Art Online, I still think it's a great gateway anime. It is very inoffensive, or at least the first season anyway. Don't watch Elfame. It has a really cool concept. The animation work, for the most part, is pretty good. And I feel if you want to get more into the fantasy genre, but don't want anything too challenging or too different, then I think a show like Sword Art Online is still a great gateway anime. Again, do I think it's the best show? No, not necessarily, but most gateway anything don't have to be the best in the genre, because let's be real, the best in the genre is very much a subjective thing. It's a lot easier to recommend shows like Sword Art Online that only require a season or two, maybe 2 core at most, 24 episodes, for you to get pretty well invested into the story than, say, recommending a show like One Piece that takes hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of episodes to finally get invested in. That's really difficult for newcomers to fully commit to. And I don't think we should expect newcomers of anime to put that amount of commitment into something that they don't even know if they're going to enjoy at the end of the day or not. So if I had to change this top 5 list, I would probably do something like this. Out of the 5 of these, the shortest one is definitely Hunter x Hunter, so I would probably leave Hunter x Hunter on this list because, again, I haven't even fully watched the show, but I just know from osmosis that this is a great freaking show. It's Togashi, he can't do any wrong, and it's only like 100-something episodes, so it's not that big of a commitment to get into. But while you're at it, why don't we try and put in a couple of different genres that aren't necessarily battle shonen or even shonen for that matter. If you want to show a little bit of the shoujo side of things, then I would put in something like, say, Nodame Kantabire or Hanayori Dango. Very quick and easy shows to get into that are very stereotypically shonen, but are still great and inoffensive shows if you would like to venture into that genre. If you want to go for something a little more on the seinen side, then I would recommend shows like, say, Vinland Saga or even Golden Kamuy. 1 or 2 seasons at most, and a lot of those shows kind of hit the ground running, so it's very easy to quickly slide into and fully experience the more, I guess, mature side of anime. Just because I am a horror anime fiend, I would recommend some horror shows as well. Maybe something like a Shiki or a Higurashi. But there's also a lot of great psychological horror as well. I would recommend even shows like Monster. Or hell, why not recommend some movies as well? I would get people to watch Akira immediately. That's only 2.5 hours. It's like 6 episodes worth of anime. Way shorter to get through that and get fully invested in it than any one core season. Or if you do want something a little on the weirder, stranger, yet hype side, I would recommend shows like Fully Cooley or literally a bunch of shows by Studio Trigger. Maybe a little bit of Kill la Kill or even Promare. There are a lot of different things that you can recommend to newcomers. But again, it's really difficult to make like an ultimate list of shows to recommend to newcomers because a lot of different people go into the medium of anime with different experiences and different tastes. And I think by putting shows like this into a newcomer list is almost going to alienate a lot of people from ever trying anime. They're going to get the weird impression of, oh, I have to sink literal hundreds of hours into a single show for me to get anime, which everyone knows is not the case at all. Because I also wonder, like, where is like Attack on Titan on this list? I mean, it's a lot of episodes, but it's less episodes than any of the shows on this list. So it does kind of confuse me that as to why Michael B. Jordan decided to say these shows. I don't know, maybe he's just like a super normie and has only watched maybe like 10 shows, including these 5, which, you know, I get it. Like, you're a busy guy, you know, you're a Hollywood actor. You don't have time to sit down and fucking watch Japanese cartoons. I get it. But again, don't let this list trick you into thinking that this is all the anime world has to offer, because there are so many other and, in my opinion, better gateway anime than these 5. So yeah, that's pretty much my 2 cents, or my 4 cents, if you will, on this matter. Hey, Michael B. Jordan, if you're listening, why don't you leave a like on this video if you agree or disagree? And thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down in the comments below as well, what are some of the shows that you would recommend to a newcomer of anime, or what's the process you go to recommend anime to newcomers? I'd like to know your opinions and thoughts down in the comments below. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smack my face right there to subscribe to the channel. Let's keep making big channel number go bigger. And over here next to my head, a couple more videos you can check out if you enjoyed this one, and make sure to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, as well as my YouTube shorts and TikTok, which are blowing up. Thank you. And support me directly on Patreon, all down in the description, boys. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan, anime fan. You'll love to see it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.